Hey YouTube, welcome back to UniXTCG, and today, like I said, we're having a double hitter. This video is the Cell archetype breakdown from set 2 Blazing Aura, and the video that came out probably about 2 hours ago, if you're right on time due to notifications, was the remainder of Red's cards. So starting from this video forward, because the regional season and the reveal season are so close together, and I'm trying to be as competitive as possible and maximize my chances of winning, there are going to be kind of a split of content. I'm still going to give you my normal analysis and deep dives on this channel, but for my more day-to-day, my personal testing, my findings that I do want to keep, for the most part, in my team going forward into the regional season, those are going to be on Patreon. So if you want to support the channel just a little bit more and also see the insights that my testing, my deck building, my theory crafting, and my just like rounds with these cards are doing, that would be on the Patreon at the $5 tier or higher. So with that being said, if you guys want to help support this video, if you like the video, let's get it over 100 like the previous videos have been doing, and let us get into the Cell archetype breakdown. So all these cards have been gone over in the green reveals. There's been multiple things going on, so I already have lots of videos if you want to go check those out, whether it be the winner, was green a winner or a loser, or the remainder of green. But we're going to be going over the Cell archetype in its entirety here. So we have the front side of the leader, and that is when attacking, draw one card. Awaken when your life is at 4 or less, draw one card, then flip this card over. So pretty cool thing right here. And the backside says when attacking, draw one card, activate main once per turn. If you have 5 energy, add up to 1 card with a cost of 3 or more from your drop to your energy. So this is going to allow you to go from 5 to 6 anytime you're at 5 once per turn, which is going to be a pretty cool thing considering how your deck goes up and down on energy. Now, green has already had a couple cards that have done this in the past, such as Big Bang, Instant Kamehameha, but they're getting a massive card that does this in the form of your 8-drop Cell, which we'll be getting to momentarily. So when I wanted to break this down, the next card I wanted to talk about was Cell Games Arena, because when you look at a leader, you have to understand what makes this leader stand out from other leaders. And one of the first things you generally have to look at are its leader specific cards. These are quintessential. Outside of the leader's effect itself, these are the cards that no other leader can utilize. So with Cell, there is one, and that is Cell Games Arena. And this is a 4-cost field card. Activate main, switch this card to rest mode. If your leader is Cell, look at the top card of your deck and add it to your hand or add it to your energy in rest mode. I cannot state how good this is. The only negative thing I can say about this card is that it is an extra card with no combo value. However, past that, the ability to look at the top card of your deck and go, yeah, that's coming to my hand, or yeah, that's going to my energy is great. And in most cases, I feel like it's going to your energy, but you always have that ability to be like, oh, that's the exact card I needed. It's going to hand. I will ramp somewhere else instead. And that is the coolest thing about this card. When it comes to that, you have the ability to play your deck differently. If you activate Cell Games Arena, pick up the top card of your deck and know that you need it. It is a make or break. You need this card. You can just change your game plan for the turn, change what you want to do with your curve. If you don't, nope, I want to go immediately up for my next turn setup play, you can do that too. Because it's coming into play into rest mode, it's not affecting what you can do that turn. It's affecting what you can do the following turn. So if you didn't have 8 on this turn, you're not having 8 after you Cell Games Arena. You would have 9 charging next turn if you ramp with Cell Games Arena. So you should be able to pop off and decide which card you want to keep in hand and which card you don't. So that is absolutely wonderful. Now, moving past that, we have the ability to search this out. There's a lot of things. You have Moa from set 1. You have a couple things that can help find this. It is an Android card. So far we don't have any pure Android searches. We have Android 17, 18, but you have the ability to try to find this. And I do think that this is crazy. This is a crazy snapped card. So before I go over about that, we're going to move over to the boss, or the perceived boss of this deck, and that is the 8-cost Cell. 8-cost Cell is obviously 8-cost, 45k power, 0 combo power, and then you have on play, place 3 cards from your energy into your drop, choose up to 2 of your opponent's battle cards and KO them, then add the top card of your deck to your life. This is a house. This card is going to help you get back down from 8 to 5 to be able to use your leader effect. It's also going to be able to destroy up to 2 cards, and in the green mirror match, you're just destroying 2 cards pretty much regardless. In yellow, Vegeta will make that hard. You might need to get rid of Vegeta before you can use this card effectively. Against a Frieza deck, you can just pop the 2 cards they unfroze or they untapped easily. There's a lot of different utilities. Blue doesn't really have an out to this, red doesn't have an out to this, it's really just yellow. So this is doing a lot, and this is a strong boss card. Plus the healing is even crazier because as a control deck, as a green deck, you're gonna wanna be able to go up on life once you've stabilized, and this is gonna help you do that. Now, the thing about Cell is that due to Cell's unique build, his leader specific card, you're gonna be able to play these back to back to back. And what I mean by that is you go into a turn, you charge to 8, okay? You tap 8, you use Cell, and you put 3 of your energy from the field to the drop. You are now at 5. You activate your Awakened Leader's effect to go up to 6. After you do that, you activate Cell Games Arena, and unfortunately, no matter what you put up, you gotta put it into your energy if you want to sell back to back. But this is gonna make it so your next turn, you're going to draw, charge, bam, you're back at 8. And with nothing else but your field card and your leader, you're going to be able to continuously hit 8 energy as many times as you want if you're using Cell. So that is the really, really, really cool part about Cell Games Arena and this Cell card. They are a triangle of just peak performance, and you know, they rock it well. Now, moving on to some more almost leader specific, but not leader specific, you got Cell Jr. Now this guy's a little different, a little weird. He's a 2 cost 15k, 10k combo power, and permanent. If you have a Cell battle card with a cost of 8 or more in your battle area, you can use this and play this card from your hand without paying its cost. On play, add up to 1 extra card from your drop to your hand. Now, when you're going down on energy, you definitely don't want to get killed on the clapback. That's just not what you want. So being able to ramp an energy from your leader, and that comes into play active, and then being able to play Cell Jr., who could potentially get back something like a gigantic Meteor, and congratulations, you're at 6, gives you a little more protection. If they don't KO the Cell Jr., you have 10k combo power to work with on board, but you also have the ability to play gigantic Meteor that you just got back, and you have the energy to make it its full effect. So there's a lot of little synergy that goes on with that. There's some cute things you can do here, like if you bring back instant Kamehameha and you use instant Kamehameha on this guy, he's a 30k for free. The whole combo is free, just get rid of another energy. So there's a lot of cute combos, but I like the ability for him to essentially provide a cushion after you've expended your energy with Cell. So moving past that, we're going to go into some of the more specific cards, yeah? And when it comes to the specific cards, we are now looking at Awakening to Perfect Form. It is a 7 cost, activate main, place 1 Cell with a cost of 3 from your energy or battle area into your drop. Play up to 1 Cell with a cost of 8 from your hand. Now, this is interesting, but I personally feel like this may be an extra step. If you feel differently, let me know in the comments, but I definitely feel like to play this, you auto have to play the 3-drop Cell, and there's only 1 right now. And then you have to have this extra card, and you have the other Cell in your hand. When in reality, if you have Cell Games Arena on board and your leader, Cell going up to 8, that's all the economy you need. You go down to 5, you leader effect, you activate the Cell Arena, you charge back up to 8, you go back down to 5, you leader effect, you Cell Arena, you charge back up to 8 next turn. So I don't necessarily think that it may be worth adding spaces from your deck to play both the 3-drop Cell as well as this card just to play it a turn early when the cycle already feels so good. So now we're going to move on to the next card, potential new ramp. We do have Son Gohan Future. And Son Gohan Future is a 5 cost, 30k, 10k combo power. And we all know his effect. Like I said, I've done multiple videos talking about this guy. Permanent, all your battle cards with a cost of 3 can be removed by the battle area by your opponent's skills. Not really coming into effect in a lot of places here, but if you ever have a Cell Jr. and you want to keep him for combo value, at least they cannot remove Cell Jr. from the field with random cards before removing Gohan first. But at the end of the turn, you can blow up a 3 cost or less, which is going to help you with the aggro plays. It's going to help you stay alive as a green control deck, but also choose up to 1 of your opponent's battle cards with a cost of 3 and KO it. So if you choose that, well, that is the protection effect. It's the other one that's going to be able to bring out the Trunks Now you can bring out multiple other cards. You could use this to bring out a Cell Jr. and get an extra card back. You could use it to do quite a few things. You could use it to play the Cell card and set it up for next turn if you don't think it's going to be destroyed. The like little 3-drop Cell. But, sorry, a 2-drop Cell. I believe the 3-drop Cell is a vanilla. So yeah, that's a whole thing there. But going over into the next card, you have a Trunks Future. This is the 3 cost that Gohan Future is supposed to work with. 20,000 power, 5k combo power. On play, if you have 5 more energy, add up to 1 card from the top of your deck in energy and rest mode. So if you play that Gohan on 5, and then at the end of the turn you play this Trunks, you're going to ramp again. So that's pretty cool. Now, knowing that, you have some interesting plays because you can kind of cascade. If you're at 5 energy, you can use Cell's effect to go up to 6, play Gohan at the end of the turn, go from 6 to 7, and then charge up to 8. So you effectively get to skip some turns. Now his auto of once per turn, when your battle card with a cost of 5 or more is removed from the battle area by your opponent, this card gains plus 10k power until the end phase of your turn. This is just saying if any big stepper is removed, this guy becomes a 30k until the end of your next turn, making him harder to kill by KO, by battle, but also allowing him to punch harder. And against red, it makes it harder for him to be removed off the field. So this is pretty cool. It's pretty cool. Now, because this is removed from the battle area by your opponent, not your opponent's not KO'd, this is going to be able to have a little more leeway. It's not just gonna not be dodged, or it's not gonna just dodge by like blue or stuff like that. Blue bounces the 5-drop Gohan, or you know, tucks them in the bottom of the deck with their absolute lightning or divine lightning. This is still gonna get its effect. So overall, that's pretty cool. And yeah, so real quick, as a small little break, we're gonna take a little just message from the sponsor just so I can let you guys know what I'm working with. So 1 second. Hey everybody, just to let you guys know, once again, I am sponsored by Mystic TCG, coolest store in Missouri, one of the coolest stores in the United States. They do it all. They hold their own events. He's at so many events for mini card games. They sell so many card games. Great store. And if you want to sell your collection or singles or buy singles or sell prize cards, anything of the sort, go to the Facebook group, message him, because he is always willing to talk prices and what he can pick up for. So if you want your cash, go ahead, check him out. And you can also go in the description and use the code UniXTCG to get product discounts off of that for your pre-orders or your orders. And then past that, if you want to be in the Canadian area, or I say want to be, if you live in Canada, you can go to G3. That's the other team I'm sponsored by. G3 has a storefront. They hold their own events. They have a competitive Dragon Ball Super Masters team taking up multiple slots in every event that they go to, and they have a thriving Discord. So make sure you check them out. The link is in the description for both their sites, as well as the codes to get discounts off. So with that being said, just want to let you guys know that I am doing so much in this content sphere, trying to grow. I have Dragon Ball videos on UniXDB. I have game like live streams as well as VODs on my Universe X Gaming on YouTube and Twitch, and I'm also building a Patreon. You can get my personal deck list and my current base for testing, as well as my current findings for testing with Cell on that Patreon, and it will be up the same time this video is up. So link will be in the description. Just got to join the $5 tier or higher. There's already plenty of content there, and there is going to be so much more coming off here. So let's get back to the content. So moving on to this next, we have some more new ramp cards. This card is Tragedy in Gingertown, right? 3 cost, taking the same time slot, or the energy slot, is Destructive Strength. And activate mana. If you're a leader of Cell, choose any number of battle cards with Earthling in their special traits and add them to your energy in rest mode. This is the second leader specific card that you have to look at when you look at Cell. So this is pretty cool. You're choosing your battle cards with Earthling and their special traits and you're adding into your energy and rest mode. If you're going off of your first turn, right, this card is actually better going first. If you're going second, your third slot generally is going to involve the coin, the marker. But if you're going first, just think of the ability to go turn 1, Bulma, draw a card, discard a card. Cool, she's an Earthling. Turn 2, another Bulma, or maybe a Chi-Chi to search your top 5 for a Goku or Gohan, or maybe a 1-drop Gohan to search your top 3 for a Sand that cost 5 or less. Once you have those, you can then go to your turn 3, play Tragedy in Gingertown, put those 2 humans back to your energy in rest mode, and you go from 3 to 5. In fact, there are even better times where if you're on a high roll, let's say you just turn 1, Bulma, draw 1, discard 1, and then turn 2, you play another Bulma, draw 1, discard 1, then play Gohan, search top 3. Cool. That's your turn 2. Turn 3, Tragedy in Ginger Town. You just went from 3 to 6 energy. You have high rolls like that, and that is something that we should be able to test. However, I will say that when it comes to what you're looking at, you have Red, which has more -5Ks than ever. Red will not let that play fly. You have Blue, and Blue has that 1-drop Zamasu. Blue has a couple other cards that help bounce these things, that help mess up that play, but Blue also has 1-drop Zamasu, and Goku Black did get a significant buff going into this set. So the ability to bottom deck that to kind of nullify your Tragedy in Ginger Town. The yellow even can use like 1-drop freeze to tap something and attack it, or if they're going second and you have already established some 1-drops, they could play Krillin, and Krillin can attack your leader, put 2 of your 1-drops in rest mode, leader attacks 1, and then whatever 1-drop they played goes neutral in your other one. There's a lot they can do to start interfering with this play. So I think that this is very powerful, but I think that things have to go very right for it to hit its maximum potency, and that kind of scares me. So we are now going to look at Earth Destroying Blow, and I think this card is pretty cool because anytime that you could use it, you're just pretty much going to go up. It's like Gigantic Meteor. Do you really use Gigantic Meteor before you hit 6 energy? Only if you're getting rushed down out of your mind. And this is the same thing, but when you use this, you can ramp. And so I personally do like it. Now, it taking the top card off your deck always makes me turn sideways. You never know when you're going to flip over something you need. But this still is a pretty cool card, and I think this does warrant experimentation. If there's a sideboard, I definitely can see this being used to avoid some of the heavier attacks, bring you up to a 45, potentially avoiding a base 40k, and then still being able to ramp you while it happens. Now, we're going to look at a couple cards. You got the 2-drop Cell. We've been over this like all the other cards. 2-drop, 15k, 10k combo power. Activate main once per turn. Place 1 card with an Earthling and its special traits from your energy into your drop. This card gains plus 15k power for the turn. Now, because this card can become a 30k for 2, you have the opportunity to play him on your 6 energy, and then use his effect. Just so I guess sacking one of the energy you use for him, and then you can use Cell to immediately go from 5 to 6. That's pretty cool to me. I like that a lot. So especially if you have any 3-cost humans that you've played, because you can put the same card back in. So 2 for 30 is not bad at all. That's definitely overstated. The only thing is he's going to be very, very easily dealt with on the crackback. His power and his cost make him very easy to be gotten rid of. And then he's a 10k combo power, so at least that goes into something. Now, something I'm not going to put on screen, there is a 3-cost second form Cell who's a vanilla. That's the 3-cost Cell they were talking about having in your energy or your field to go into Perfect Cell. Now, we have some extra firepower in the form of Son Gohan Childhood, because Son Gohan Childhood is a 6-cost, 35k, 10k combo power, and all you have to do is have a Son Gohan and drop, and that can gain Double Strike. Most likely, I would assume this is your 1-cost draw 1 cantrip card, just have that, you play that earlier in the game, he goes to the grave, eventually the drop, and then you just have this card ready for whenever it comes out later. So I definitely think that is a card worth thinking about. It is a little weaker than Android, not just in power, but also it doesn't destroy anything. It has a conditional Double Strike, but it also isn't a 0 in hand, and that goes a long way too. So that's another card you get to definitely try. Now, in terms of defense, you have Sinu Bean, and Sinu Bean is the new piece of defense that's kind of coming in, and it's kind of weird. The one little nugget I will give you from my testing so far is that this deck plays on curve a lot. I see Sinu Bean not really being easy to use without losing a turn of ramp for the first 3-4 turns of the game. And it's turn 3 and 4 that a rush down strategy will have the most gas against you. That is when they're swinging on you for 3 bodies plus a leader, 2 to 3 bodies plus a leader, and that's when the Sinu Bean is going to do the most work. So yes, you could just pause for a turn and use Sinu Bean, but if you think about it, what's their goal? A rush down deck or an aggressive deck is going to try to beat you down before you hit your top end. If you were taking a turn to not regressively run towards your top end to play Sinu Bean, to have energy open for Sinu Bean, that is exactly what they want. That's just another turn that you will not be able to drop your boss monster, and that's okie dokie for them. That's what they want to do. That's their game plan. So kind of worried about that. Plus, when it comes to life gain, you have that covered with Cell. You just have that covered with Cell. Now, a couple of things that a lot of people have been asking, now that they've seen Cell, they ask, do you still play Broly BR? And I think the answer to that is it definitely depends on your deck list. But for me, I see Cell as a good card, but how can you be sure that you always want to go down on energy? You know what I mean? Like, if you're not needing to gain the life, and they don't have, you know, two very good targets, there's nothing wrong with playing a Broly on 8, drawing a card, blowing up a card, swinging twice for 45k, only to know that next turn you're going to charge to 9. Or not even charge at all. You could just draw, skip charge, play your Cell, go down to 5, activate leader effect, activate Cell, Arena, and then now you potentially have Cell and Broly on the board, and it's even more destructive. So I think that this card is not pushed out of the meta by Cell. I think it actually still has not only a place, but just like a valid slot in green deck still. So yeah, Broly is still pretty much just like one of the top tier boss cards in the game. This dude should have been a secret rare, I swear. Now this other card is Gigantic Meteor. This card I think got more powerful with this deck. This deck has no issues getting to 6. In fact, the moment you're at 5, you automatically go to 6 if you're Awakened. And on top of that, Cell Jr. can recycle this card. Gigantic Meteor has never looked better, and I think that if we thought that it was dumb before, I think Cell's gonna abuse it if Cell can catch some meta traction. Then we're gonna go over to Son Goku. Son Goku is, I think, kind of bait in this deck. Lots of people were wondering, oh well, if I use Cell with this Son Goku on board, do I get 3 energy back? No, that's not how that works. All those 3 energy go away simultaneously. Goku sees it all at once. You get 1 energy back. The thing though is, if you have Son Goku on the field, you rob yourself of your leader effect. If you have Son Goku on the field, when you hit Cell 8, you immediately go from 5 to 6 on autos, which means that you cannot use your Cell leader ability. So I don't really like this card in the deck. I think there are better things you can be spending 5 on, because your leader is essentially going to have you, and if you have your leader in Cell Games Arena up, you never want other ramp after that again. So that's my take on it. Now, when we go to the closing, essentially, what we're essentially here looking at is the fact that this deck has some very unique ramp. And it is very interesting to know that once you awaken, you now have a, once you awaken and you have Cell Arena, that's potentially like, that's just stupid. Cell Arena will be able to ramp you a turn or build your hand. If you don't need to ramp, you just build your hand. You draw for turn and you tap Cell Arena and you draw again. That is, I don't think people have been talking enough about how busted that card is. Like, it's just so good. Just draw 2 per turn or ramp. So that card is really, really nasty. I think looping multiple cells is gross. If you get Cell 3 turns in a row, you've lost pretty much your entire board multiple times over, and they've gained 3 life, and they've been sticking mad bodies. You might just want to pack it up. So I think that Cell has explosive potential. Its top end and its ability to sustain that top end are just disgusting. Now the real question though is, this is the leader that does its best when it can awaken. It's not a leader that just can stay on its front side. I mean, it can because it's green, but most green leaders can stay on their front side until you force them. There's going to be a point where Cell specifically would like to be awakened to use its effect. Yes, you can do other things. Like, let's say the turn after you, to loop multiple back-to-back cells, you need to be awakened. You can't do that. There has to be a gap turn to ramp if you are not awakened. So Cell needs to awaken. Now, looking at this, your cards for awakening are very slim. Like, what do you have at this point? I think it literally is a Paragus, a TN, and both androids. kind of scarce, I can look through the cards again, but I'm pretty sure that's it. So this is definitely going to have some deck building tightness. I think that we're going to have to really go into there. And like I said, I will go in on Patreon. If you're looking at this video, you can at this point join the Patreon, or if you're already a member, go to the Patreon right now, and I will have my initial testing and deck build up there for you guys to look at, conversate, have a discussion with. We'll go over it all. So with that being said, I'd like to thank you guys for watching this video. I hope this one skyrockets. Put a lot of thought into this one, and I am really trying to go like balls to the walls, trying to really just understand these decks in a timely order so I can give you guys content that you guys would like. So with that all out of the way, I do just want to give the shout out to the realist out here, the Realm of Extras. It's my top tier on Patreon. My Big Daddy Flapjacks, my Beer R's, my Bryce R's, my Kevin I's, my Mario V's, and my Mr. Top Decks. Thank you guys for being the tippity toppiest of the Patreon. I appreciate you guys, and I will see you in the next video, article, social media post, whatever, but later.